How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from tonight, which is December 27th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Angelico versus Dante Casanova. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Angelico went over with the octopus stretch. Match 2, it was the Workhorsemen, which are J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry, versus the Hughes brothers, which are Terrence and Terrell Hughes. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Workhorsemen went over because Anthony Henry pinned Terrell Hughes with a slam backbreaker combination from J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry. Match 3, it was Fuego del Sol versus Lucky Ali. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Fuego del Sol went over with a springboard tornado DDT. Well, before the match, as Lucky Ali was already out in the ring, Fuego del Sol came out and cut a promo talking about how the sirens hit and how everyone's going to be elevated and captivated, and talked about how he was going to kick Lucky Ali's ass and everything. That was cool. That was before the match, by the way. Match 4, it was Matt Menard versus Brock Anderson. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Matt Menard went over with the head slam into the exposed turnbuckle. Match 5, it was Evil Uno versus Blake Lee. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Evil Uno went over with the Something Evil. Match 6, it was Red Velvet versus Billy Starks. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Red Velvet went over with the Just Desserts. Now, before the match, Red Velvet attacked Billy Starks before the match started and everything. That was cool. That was before the match, by the way. Match 7, it was the Iron Savages, which are Bronson and Boulder, versus Jameson Ryan and Brandon Bullock. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, the Iron Savages went over cause Bronson pinned Jameson Ryan by the double cannonball from Boulder and Bronson to Jameson Ryan and Brandon Bullock. Match 8, it was Diamante versus Mafiosa. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Diamante went over with the code red. And match 9, which was the main event, it was AR Fox versus Slim J. That was a great match, but the ending to it, AR Fox went over with the 450 splash. That was match 9 and the main event, by the way. Now, besides the matches, Lexi Nair interviewed Arn and Brock Anderson, and Lexi Nair brought up about Brock Anderson going one-on-one with Matt Menard on AEW Dark and everything, and Brock Anderson was talking about how a year ago this wouldn't have happened and everything, and talked about how he was going to make the Anderson name proud and how he was going to kick Matt Menard's ass and everything, and Arn Anderson was talking about how the Andersons have broken necks, stomped on heads, and kicked people's asses and everything, and talked about how he was proud of his son Brock Anderson and how he expected Brock Anderson to be on his A game and kick Matt Menard's ass and everything. And Arn Anderson talked about how he was going to turn Brock Anderson loose and let him go out there alone and everything. That was cool. And Lexi Nair interviewed Matt Menard. Well, Lexi Nair brought up about Matt Menard going one-on-one with Brock Anderson and everything, and Matt Menard talked about how the Jericho Appreciation Society weren't going to be at ringside and everything, and talked about how Arn Anderson was letting Brock Anderson loose and everything, and Matt Menard talked about how he's had a scratch that he wanted to itch, and he had an itch that he wanted to scratch and everything, and talked about how Arn Anderson leaving Brock Anderson alone during the match made his nipples hard and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Mike Posey, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Angelico versus Dante Casanova. Stephon Smith refereed the match between the Workhorsemen versus the Hughes brothers. Mike Posey refereed the match between Fuego del Sol versus Lucky Ali. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Matt Menard versus Brock Anderson. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Evil Uno versus Blake Lee. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Red Velvet versus Billy Starks. Paul Turner refereed the match between the Iron Savages versus Jameson Ryan and Brandon Bullock. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Diamante versus Mafiosa, and Mike Posey refereed the match between AR Fox versus Slim J. All the referees done awesome as usual. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, New Year's Smash, tomorrow night, it's going to be Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the AEW TNT title. Bryan Danielson versus Ethan Page. The Blackpool Combat Club, which are Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, versus Top Flight, which are Dante and Darius Martin. The Death Triangle, which are Pac, Rey Fenix, and Pena El Cerro Miedo, versus The Elite, which are Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson in match 6 of the Best of 7 series in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Anna Jay and Ty Mello versus Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, New Year's Smash, tomorrow night looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from tonight, which is December 27th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, as always, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your fucking ass down the goddamn road. Peace out.